Hey neighbors, welcome to Love and Real Estate. Today I have the lovely Chelsea with me. How are you, Chelsea?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. Tell me, why did you fall in love with real estate?
So I got into real estate because I started out in property management. And back then they would pay you per lease you would have, and it was zero to maybe $100, $200, and I'm like, I made you guys like 55,000 for the term of the lease, and I'm like, I could do this outside of this. So after leaving property management, I was like, I need something else. Like, I'm tired of sitting behind a desk working for the man or for a woman. And I wanted to be in business for myself. I had a business degree, and initially I started out in the entertainment business. And so I was able to kind of revamp and take my business degree and turn it into and apply it to real estate. So I've always had an interest in HGTV, watching shows and touring. My mom and I used to tour homes after church just for fun.
Oh, wow.
So I've always had a passion for it.
Yeah.
And then it just came full circle once I got my real estate license in 2019.
Oh, wow. So Chelsea, I know how we met, but tell the people, how did you and I get introduced to each other?
Okay, so we were definitely at a social event, and a mutual friend of ours introduced us and was like, "Hey, this is Shelly. Hey, this is Chelsea. Y'all realtors," and walked away. And I was like, "Okay, so we started discussing, where we were in the industry, and you told me about what your goals were and more about changing ways, and I was very intrigued. I'm just moving back to the area after being gone for about a year, and it is definitely time for me to rev up my business.
Yeah. So what about our discussion made you want to come in and talk more about how changing ways could be an asset to you?
I'll say definitely your passion.
Okay.
Because if you're going to sell your business, you sold your business through our conversation.
Oh, wow.
And
First time you're telling me that. I was just like, wow. Okay.
you definitely sold your business through our conversation, and I felt the enthusiasm and the positivity radiating through our conversation. We probably were standing with plates in our hands and just having that conversation, but I'm very passionate about real estate, and I got the same from you.
Yeah.
And then when she told me more about changing ways, and I said, okay, I need that. Your years in the industry and your experiences, whether good or bad, can change the trajectory of my business.
Yeah.
And I love that you're willing to share that experience and that knowledge, because it is golden.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, when we met, I felt that, what amazed me about you was the fact that you started off in Maryland with a real estate license, then you transitioned to Texas and you got a real estate license. So I was like, to me, it sounded like this woman really loves what she does in real estate, no matter where she goes.
Yes.
And then your transition back to Maryland
Yes.
was impressive as well. It's like, okay, I've tried it here, let me try it there. Now I'm back here and I need to take it to a different level. And that was my reason for really just saying, okay, Chelsea, come see me. I'm willing to help you get to that next level.
Yes, and that was very impactful, because I never wanted to give up on my dream. I felt like real estate was my passion. And why give up on it? Because I made a decision to relocate. Even though getting a license in Texas is like 2 or 3 times harder than getting it in DC or Maryland, I didn't give up on it. And then I got it. I just didn't have a sphere of influence down there. And starting over knowing no one. Sometimes it works really good for people. Sometimes it's not the best, because you got to start all the way over.
Yeah.
So I had a few sales there, and I was like, it's time to come back home where I know the area like the back of my hand. I can service my clients. And then now I get to rub elbows with you and get that knowledge and experience of, I don't necessarily need help closing, doing the paperwork and all of that, but it's how do you get the business? And then it's also, how do I stay focused as a person when life gets me down, or the business gets me down,
Absolutely.
or the market isn't going the way you want to? How to stay focused and how to rely on yourself. And I think that's big. And with changing ways, that's a part of it. Is that self-centered, that self-care, and making sure you're okay before you try to go help somebody else.
Yes.
So bringing your full self to your business is definitely a part of it. And I appreciate you sharing that with me so far.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate your acknowledgement. I know that ramping up as a realtor is hard no matter where you are,
Yes.
right? Whether you're new, whether you have a stalled business, or whether you're trying to get to the next level. But ramping up and trying to get to the next level is even like, wow, right?
Yes.
So having a coach, and knowing that you need that in what you're doing is very important. And for you to have that foresight is awesome. So tell me, what is the next level for Chelsi?
The next level for me is advancing in where I am now, because I just stepped out into full time. So I'm ramping. We're ramping. You're helping me to ramp that up. And then the next thing is I want to build a team. I want to kind of reciprocate the feeling you gave me.
Yeah.
When we had a discussion about real estate to others, and help them build their business and get to a point where I'm really big on leadership and mentorship. So of course I know coaching and mentor are two different things, but I want to be able to mentor, those new and coming up agents through their transaction process. And then I think from there, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I want to do some property management. I want to buy some property. So I have a laundry list of things I want to accomplish. And then probably later in my career, once I'm ready to settle down and just kind of mellow out. I want to say I want to be a broker, but that's probably hard to do and mellow out, because you're responsible for everybody and everything. Yeah. So. But I definitely just want to go up from here. Yeah. No matter what the market, the industry, the experts say, I just want to go up from here.
Speak it into existence.
Yes.
The tongue is a powerful thing. And, he's talked about manifestation and, just focusing on the goal. So if you believe it, again, I know it's cliche, but if you believe it, you will achieve it. So Chelsi, we talked about your goals. We talked about, getting to a certain place in 2024. How do you feel about the market changes, especially for the buyer agents and, the lawsuits that are going on with the sellers who no longer want to pay the fees for buyers to come in and, for the buyers agents to come in and help to sell their house? How do you feel your business will change as a buyer's agent, knowing that you really have to show your value as a buyer agent?
Definitely. I was going to say that. I was going to say I have to work even harder to say, hey, this is what I'm going to provide you and what sets me apart from other agents. And then also communication, because yes, I'm doing all this work for you, but we don't work for free. You know what I mean? Kind of having that communication and that dialogue for them to understand that, okay, so here's what the commission will be or what have you, and make sure that they understand and are comfortable. Because I know that a lot of times people sign those buyer agency agreements and they don't read the whole thing. No. So going through it and making sure that, do you have any questions? Are we on the same page? Right. Does this make sense to you? Right. Are you comfortable with this? Because not only does that help them, give them a clear understanding of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and how much you cost, it also says, hey, she's giving me that tender love and care and beyond the fiduciary duties that you have for them. And it builds that relationship even closer.
Yeah. Showing that value is key. It's always been key. But what it does is it forces agents not to just fill in blanks to a contract and actually hold their hand, their client's hand through the process of home ownership. So I like that you're saying the same things. It's right in line with that, right? So, we're in a business where we say, if it's not on paper,
it never happened.
It never happened. But so I do feel that your approach is a unique approach in that, because we follow that rule. If it's not in writing, it didn't happen. So communication kind of flies out the window for us because we're just pushing paper in front of them and saying, read this, sign this, right? And a lot of times they're not even explained what they're signing. They're just going along knowing that they just want the keys to their new home, right? So our clients have to be more aware of the process And I love how you're saying I would communicate more. That's how I would show my value.
And I think that what we probably should do, as if you're serving as a buyer's agent, is take that time and commitment that a listing agent does when you have a listing presentation. And if some people don't always have buyer presentations, because what are you presenting? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm presenting me, the resources I have that I can provide to you, and who I am as a person, what I'm going to do, and lay that out in plain sight. Because I can tell you that all day, but like you said, if it's not on paper or if it's not on a visual, it never happened.
It's funny you should say a lot of realtors hardly ever do a buyer's consultation, but that is the premise, right? That's where you start to talk to your clients and guide them through the process, right? What's first, second, and third, what to expect, setting those expectations so that they know, okay, it jogs their memory when they get to that point and said, I heard you mention this.
Right.
What's the next step? So that's part that it just jogs that part where they ask for that communication from you. So you're not always thinking, okay, did I tell them that? Do they know this? But they're actually asking questions. So that buyer's consultation is key, and just guiding them through the process from the beginning.
And it's so funny because we have to do that with first-time home buyers. And I really feel like previous home buyers, we have to do that too, because they think that they may know, I've been through this before, but things have changed.
Not only that, every transaction is different, right?
So, so you have to kind of like, okay, I understand you bought 10, 15 houses before in your past, but this is this one, this is 2024, this is this date, this is what the market is looking like, and this is the steps and procedures that we need to go through in order to get you in the home at the best price, at the home you want in the time frame that you want. So
as you said, every transaction is different, right? Depending on the market changes, or every home is going to be different, and location, but depending on location, you're going to have a different price.
Right.
And of course, you're going to have a different buyer or seller in a transaction. So tell me how you navigate obstacles in a transaction and what you do to make your client feel better about, because with every transaction being different, there's no transactions are alike and no transactions are ever smooth, right? There's always going to be something. Tell me a little bit how you navigate that and your client's expectations.
It's probably multiple ways. I just have to be a chameleon and just adjust to whatever's, because I could have the happy-go-lucky, easy, smooth client, but one hiccup with whatever can flip that. And now they're mean and they're just upset, so, and it's never really towards you. It's just the frustration because, of course, real estate is the biggest investment that people make in most of their lifetime. So it's just like, you can't play about your money. No. So I think just really adapting and talking to them, remaining calm myself, taking the emotions out of it and saying, okay, I understand, how you may be feeling, and we're going to get through this, and just reassuring. Reassuring that, that I'm able to get this done. We're going to get you, come hell or high water, we're going to get you to this closing table. So I can't really think of a specific technique that I do, because they're all, like you said, they're all different. All people are different. I've had some people who just okay, whatever you say, okay, all right.
But that ties back to what you said with showing your value. Knowing your client and their needs kind of helps you through navigating those situations.
Getting to know them. And I love to, if they allow me, because some people don't want nothing outside of it. But my clients really become family to me. And I treat them like I would treat my family. So I'm not going to come, mean and disrespectful to my mother, or my auntie or whoever. So just treating them like family and respecting them and taking their time and holding their hand if they want. If they don't want to hold hands, we don't got to hold hands. We could talk from a distance.
Sometimes I tell people I'm a hugger. And with the whole COVID and pandemic thing,
elbow, so yeah.
So Chelsi, I know we haven't been working together for quite a while, but I do want to talk about some of the wins that you've had since being with Changing Ways and my coaching services.
Well, first of all, I would like to say and commend you. I don't know what you've done in your past life, but your tone of voice is like, she's about to read me a bedtime story. So you're firm and sure of what you're saying and what you know, but your tone of voice makes it come off as, okay, this is coming from a place of caring and really wanting you to win and really wanting you to succeed. You're like, Chelsi, you need to do this. Make sure did you do this today?
Yeah.
You said you wanted to do this. And I'm like, okay. Instead of like, did you do,
Yeah.
it takes a different, it's like and no offense, it's a mothering voice.
Okay.
Like it just, like how, it's just calm and soft and reassuring. And I'm like, okay, I can still do this. I know I need to get myself back together. But some wins that I've had, I've actually brought on new clients.
So you're ramping back up.
I'm ramping.
You're getting those clients in.
Look,
honey.
I'm doing just what you said I could do, getting them clients in,
Yeah.
getting them under contracts, and getting them closed to the closing table. I've been, when I first started coming back, I was doing nothing but rentals. And rentals are fine, but they do get a little tiring because it's almost the same kind of work you got to do for a sale, but a lot less. But I digress. Clients are clients, and when you treat them well and they have a good experience, they come back when they're ready to buy.
Yep.
I found that out to be very
You
true.
guys, Chelsi is being modest, okay? So let me just say, Chelsi's got 3 deals closing, 2 on the listing side and 1 on the buyer's side, right? Congratulations with that.
Thank you.
And you've got about 3 clients that you've already closed since being with me on the lease side, the rental side.
Yes.
So that's 1 month.
Yes.
And that's like 5, 6 deals, maybe?
Yep.
In 1 month?
Yep.
Some agents who have been doing this all year can't say that they have 5 deals in 1 month.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect. The Changing Ways has helped me and reassured me that I can make it as a solo agent or as a full-time agent. I'm like, I always have to have a job. I can't, like, I love, it's my passion, but it's my passion, but it wasn't a hobby, which a lot of people will say, oh, I like to knit as a hobby. I'll do it after work or on my lunch break. And it was hard to try to do real estate with a full-time job on my lunch break, making callbacks, telling people I'll return their calls between 12 and 1 and having to sit and try to eat. And so it's really reassuring being with Changing Ways that I can do this.
And one of the things that I always tell my clients in coaching is that real estate is a full-time job. So if you're going to have another career and be dual career, it's going to be 2 full-time careers. You can't shortchange real estate as, a part-time job. How do you stay abreast of the market changes? Because we all know it's fluid.
Yeah.
It changes daily, interest rates and things of that nature. How do you direct your clients if you're not in it full-time?
Yeah.
So you saw that, you took that leap, felt the wind on your face,
yeah.
not knowing where you're going to land.
And I just started flapping them wings, and then I met you, and you was like, flap them a little harder, you can do it. And so here I am, just trying to soar.
And you can do it. I believe in you, and I appreciate the fact that, you have believed in me to the point that you have allowed me to coach you, allowed me to come into your life, allowed me to give you what your goals are, and put that mirror up to you and say, these are your goals.
Yes.
Let's get there on a daily basis. And, the results speak for themselves.
They do. They truly do. And I'm forever indebted just for learning and meeting and having that opportunity to be a part of your business.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, neighbors, that's a wrap for this episode of Love and Real Estate. I'd like to thank my special guest, Chelsi Blanchard. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And if you need to reach Changing Ways, we're at changingwayslc.com and on Instagram and all our social handles at Changing Ways LC. Changing Ways. Change your ways, change your life. It's time.